Do 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 do. Let's see, is this thing on? Okay, there's like a bit of a delay on here. Greetings, travelers. Welcome to another strange and awkward episode of Bible Study Devotional, as well as BMX learning, more into the realms of flatland BMX learning. And yeah, let's get into the Bible study. Today we're going to get into the topic of patience. Because one of the commentaries yesterday on becoming better fishers of men is that we actually have to be patient, right? I guess fishing takes a lot of patience. And not only fishing takes a lot of patience, but also just learning flatland BMX takes a lot of patience. In all honesty, that's kind of what it seems like. This is just a strange, like, endurance test of how patient can you be without giving up learning some of these tricks. Because some of these tricks, in the beginning, they feel impossible. But what's really crazy is if you just keep going, it's like taking this giant hike up a mountain, man. And every little step you take, even if you fall back down, if you just keep going with it, eventually you start learning things. So, let's get into it. Let's look up some verses on patience. And maybe we can learn some things. And the sad thing is I actually have done some Bible studies on this topic, patience, but I'm going to be really honest. I can't even, I know there's so many verses that bring up patience. I think there's one in 1 Corinthians 13 on, like, love or something like that. That one, and then I know there's just so many others, but for some odd reason I haven't really memorized them, right? And I think the good thing about being patient is also maybe, in some weird ways, I'm wondering if there's, like, endurance and patience. I guess maybe those things might even tie together, right? And and also what I've noticed as well is that sometimes in my own personal observations of me getting frustrated or angry or having these outbursts, as I kind of peer into it a little bit deeper, many times it's because I have a lack of patience, right? And it's just kind of like I just run out of patience sometimes. And so I guess this is also a good thing to learn. We need to learn more about patience. And maybe if we learn more about patience, we can learn more to be resilient and to be more enduring. And I think those are some good qualities to have, right? Let's actually just look that up right before we get into this, right? Is endurance related to patience? I think it is, right? It has to be, right? I mean, I guess this is the first thing that comes up. Let's read it. Let's read it up in here. Patience versus endurance. Patience can be defined as the ability to accept delay or trouble calmly. On the other hand, endurance can be defined as experiencing and surviving pain or hardship. The main difference between the two can be understood by the following manner. Okay, interesting. I actually didn't know that. I think those two relate pretty good, though, right? All right, well, let's read some verses on patience. So let's type in patience Bible verses, and we will read some of these verses. I guess I'll just read them on the screen right here. Romans 12:12. Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap. For if we do not give up, let us not grow weary of doing good. Romans 8:25. But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience. Ephesians 4:2. With all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. Oh, see, there's that Corinthians one. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant.
Do not be, Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplications with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God. Well, this is actually a very interesting one right here. I'm actually surprised they have this one in here. Proverbs 15:18. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. Now, isn't that the truth, huh? Let's actually look up a verse up on that one right now. Proverbs 15:18. Proverbs 15:18 Bible commentary. Should we look up a comment? I've never looked up a commentary on this one, but it goes in the lines of with being patient, right? Let's read some of these. I kind of want to read some of these older commentaries on here. A wrathful, and now this is the KJV version. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. That's kind of worded a bit differently than the ESV version, right? Let's see here. Well, there's actually not that many. Okay, never mind. There is a good commentary up in here. We're going to read the Gill's Exposition commentary on this verse. I've never looked up a commentary on this verse. And that's what's crazy. There's just so much lore. You can look up, I'm pretty sure you could look up any single verse in the Bible, and there are commentaries on it. Okay, let's see here. Let's read this. A wrathful man stirreth up strife. A man of a wrathful disposition, of a furious spirit, of an angry temper, that is under the power and dominion of such a passion, and indulges it, and takes all opportunities to gratify it, he stirs up strife, and with contention where there was none, or where it was laid, as a man stirs up coals of fire and raises a flame. Okay. He stirs up strife in families, sets one relation against another, and the house in an uproar. He stirs up contentions in neighborhoods, and sets up one friend and neighbor against another. Hence proceed quarrels and lawsuits. And lawsuits, what in the world? I was not expecting them to bring up that. He stirs up strife in churches, breaks brotherly love, and causes animosities and divisions. He stirs up strife in kingdoms and states. Hence come wars and fightings, confusion, and every evil work. What in the world, bro? I did not know. That got very that's actually really gnarly. He started out with just these little things, and then we started going deeper and deeper and deeper. And then towards the end, let's read it again. He says, he stirs up strife in kingdoms and states. Hence come wars and fighting, confusion, and every evil work. Is he talking about the devil? Is he talking about Satan here? Because that's the other thing, is now, since we're going into that thing, there is this one verse now that I remember about anger. It says we are not to give the devil a foothold. I'm wondering if is he talking about the devil here? Because I know there's this one verse that says, don't give the devil a foothold on your anger verse. And I've totally butchered it. I don't even remember it, right? But I feel like this verse is one that I should have memorized, but I actually don't. Oh, it's actually two verses up in here. Let's see here. It's oh, what happened here? I clicked on something wrong. Okay, let's see here. This one says, be angry and do not let the sun. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, right? And what does that mean? I wonder if every day we're supposed to let go of our anger, right? We're to not have the anger come just set before us, right? And the next verse over in Ephesians 4:27 it says, and give no opportunity to the devil, right? I guess we could look that up. Is how does the devil use our anger? How does the devil use our anger? Forgive so he can forgive you. That's actually that's actually a good one, yeah. But also, here's the other weird thing about thinking about that as well, right? Because I know sometimes we can harbor grudges, and grudges sometimes we get envious and then we get frustrated and we get angry. But here's the other aspect, because we've done some studies, and just from the studies that you look into it as well, right? But just thinking about anger, right? Sometimes anger happens because of fear. right? It's kind of like, it sounds kind of cheesy that I'm going to bring this up. Take it with a big grain of salt, but like in Star Wars, how in Star Wars it says fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Well, that's actually another big one, is actually I actually never really took into consideration that, because I was like, how does fear lead to anger? That doesn't make any sense, right? But fear can lead to anger, because what fear can do into a person's life is that it can put a person into a fight or flight response, right? And this is actually what happens if you go out and you start driving your car, right, on the highway and stuff like that, and you see people get cut off, and people are like, ugh, and they just like blow up and they get all crazy. I mean, bro, there have been people that have died. There have been people that have gotten shot in the head because of road rage. And you know why road rage happens a lot of times? Road rage happens a lot of times is because it's this fight or flight response, because these things happen in such a fast degree where people are not aware. So they kind of like, in some weird way, road rage in some weird sense is actually like a good thing to even think about, maybe even patience, right? And it's just very odd. So the element of surprise can actually push people into a fight or flight response. And this is actually, I guess, in some weird way, that fight or flight response makes some people fearful, and sometimes that fear can actually turn into anger, right? Because they feel like they're threatened. It's actually very interesting to think about. I know it's actually like, it's weird for me to say that's interesting, but it's weird to think about that, and then thinking that this very thing that I just said right now is actually happening somewhere in our world, right as I speak. I bet it's actually sad. And the saddest part about it as well, thinking about it, is someone's probably going to die today because of the very things that I just brought up. And that's just brutal to think about, man. And that's scary. I feel like that's just redonkulous, right? But it's also weird because it's also saying from these verses of Ephesians 4:26 through 27 is that the devil, Satan, actually uses our anger against us. He actually wants us to be angry, and in some weird way he controls people through their anger. It's odd. It's very odd to think about. Anyway, let's where was I going at? Oh yeah, I was going to look up a thing on how does the devil use our anger. Okay, so let's see here. What is this one going to say? This is on Pastor Rick. I don't know. I've never read this before, but this one says PastorRick.com. Don't let your emotions give Satan a foothold. Now, it's weird how it says emotions, but in the verse of Ephesians 4:27, it says anger. Specifically, it uses the word anger. I don't know about the other emotions, but I guess that's why we'll read this one as well. Okay, let's read this commentary. In every quarrel, an unseen spiritual war is going on behind the scenes. At the surface, a quarrel may seem minor. You may not think you're arguing about who didn't take out the garbage or who left their clothes on the floor. But at a deeper level, Satan is trying to create chaos, distractions, and destruction in relationships. He is behind the scenes, taking every opportunity to produce conflict in your life. You won't have peace in your life if you think you're fighting with any other person. You are fighting against the spiritual forces. Satan is not seen, but he is real. He is the source behind all conflict. Ephesians 4:27 says, anger gives a foothold to the devil. Anger gives Satan something to hold on to in your life. Anytime you get angry and use hurtful words, you open the door for Satan to get a foothold in your emotions and create chaos. You can't have healthy relationships if you have uncontrolled and chaotic emotions. It's so scary to think about that, right? And I know this commentary is not going to bring it up, but it's so scary to think about all the killings that have happened. I mean, you just think about the mass shootings that have happened. It's so crazy because it's like, I mean, unless these people are straight up like mentally ill of like schizophrenia or something, these people that are killing people and just doing like these insane, heinous acts, they're not joyous, right? They're not just going around like joyful about life. And I'm assuming, I mean, I guess I don't know fully, but most of these people that are doing these acts, they have to be harboring some crazy anger, bro. Like some crazy, crazy anger. And you know what's actually really scary to think about is I've actually read this in another Christian book, right? And you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? But this Christian book was also saying that sometimes the most angry people were actually sometimes at one time the most saddest people, and vice versa. Sometimes the most saddest people were actually some of the most angry people. And sometimes these emotions can actually intertwine with each other. And it's actually very sad even thinking about that, right? And thinking about all the people that are angry right now and that are sad at the moment right now. And just knowing that their sadness or their anger, that these emotions can actually these emotions can actually bleed into one another. Very gnarly, man. Very, very gnarly. Okay, let's continue on over here. I'm wondering if that's... I mean, so that's kind of weird thinking about that, right? Because if Satan and the devil actually uses our anger, I'm wondering if Satan and the devil also somehow uses our sadness in some degree, right? And it actually reminds me of this sermon that I listened to, and they were talking about how sometimes people can be more easily controlled if they are more emotional. You know, if we have a population that is more emotional and more driven by their emotions, in some weird way, I know it sounds ridiculous, but in some weird way you can actually control them easier, because then you can start controlling them through their emotions. It sounds crazy, man, but it's something to be aware of. And it's something actually to be aware of our own emotions that we go through, right? Okay, let's continue. When you become angry, Satan is at the ready with an arsenal of hurtful words that he plants in your mind. He strokes your pride. He makes you think you must be right or have the last word. He keeps you from seeing or caring about the hurt you're causing. How do you fight against that kind of power? You've got to resist the devil. And that's in James. James says, resist the devil and he will flee, or something like that, right? Huh. Interesting. It's also resisting the devil, and it's also making me think of taking up the shield of faith, right? And the shield of faith is almost having... because we walk by faith and not by sight, right? So sometimes we have to have the trust in the Lord and in God, even if we can't see it. When Smoko, 2 Corinthians 7:1. Therefore, having these promises, beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all defilement of flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. Yes, very true, right? And also, I think there's actually another believer actually brought this verse up now that you brought that up, because I know the fear of God is a very strange thing to think about, right? And it's also, it makes me think of, there's these verses that say the fear of God actually leads us into wisdom. It's so crazy and here's the other weird thing that I think about that, right? It's like, it's so crazy, all the things that even thinking about, like, God knows about and sees behind the scenes. Because if we have, like, all these, like, crazy things happening in our world at the moment, man, just imagine all the things that, like, it's in some weird way, it's like God has, like, pre-warned that all these things are going to happen, but, like, you know, especially, like, what we're talking about now, about how our emotions can just drive us to do all these crazy... The very first commentary we read today, it started out so simply, like, anger and strife, and then it went all in this stuff, and then that got into the deepest parts of, like, evil and wars and all this crazy stuff, man. I'm like, what in the world? The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Very true. Very true. I think that's a proverb, right? I think that's it might be a proverb. I'm pretty sure that's a proverb or a song. Let's see, where are we at now? Okay. When you realize you're about to get into a quarrel with someone, be aware that Satan has a plan to upset you. He wants you to be stressed, angry, and hurt. Satan will use any negative emotion in your life to destroy your peace, but you don't have to let him do that. Okay, what is this going to say? We don't want to unwittingly give Satan an opening for yet more mischief. We're not obvious to his sly ways. 2 Corinthians 2:11. That's the Message translation. By the way, I haven't really read too much. It's kind of weird that he brought up that translation. The Message translation, I feel like I've heard some negative things about that translation. Let me look up that verse real quick. 2 Corinthians 12:11. What does that say? 2 Cor 12:11. Or was that 12:11 or 2:11? Yeah, 2:11. I just want to see what the ESV version says. Generally, I read the ESV version and the KJV version. And by the way, I know a lot of people get, I mean, I hear it all the time, right? I hear so many people go, oh, well, why are there so many different translations? Like, it's just so confusing. The Bible's been written so many times over. But the thing is that why it's written in so many different ways and times translations is because it goes deeper into the root words of the original languages of like Hebrew and Greek. And I think even like Aramaic or something like that. But I know Hebrew and Greek are the big ones, right? And the weird thing about going into those older languages is sometimes our definitions in our modern words and going back into the Greek and Hebrew words, sometimes Greek and Hebrew words have multiple definitions for a singular word, which is very weird. And so that's one of the reasons why. And I think one of the best things to do is if you do see a translation and you might get confused on it, look up some other translations and see like a whole overview, like what we're going to do right now, right? So I got kind of confused about 2 Corinthians 11, right? And what you can do now with our technology, you know, you don't have to have some crazy new Bible where it has like all the different translations. You can just look it up right now, you know? And so this one has the NIV, NLT, ESV, which I use the ESV. This little Gideon's Bible right here is actually an ESV version. And someone told me the ESV version is actually the closest to the Hebrew, so Hebrew and Greek, but I don't know how true that is, so take that with a grain of salt. But let's read this. So that we would not be outwitted by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs. Wow, ignorant. What does that mean? Does that mean like we're being oblivious to something that we might know about? Ignorant definition. I've never looked up this definition. I feel like most people should know this, but I've never even looked it up, honestly. Ignorant means lacking knowledge or awareness in general. Okay, so I was actually wrong. I totally got that definition wrong. So it's actually very interesting, not having that knowledge. So it's actually crazy to think about, right? How crazy is it to think that there's so many people, unknowingly, they don't even know that Satan actually uses our emotions, right? He that's so crazy to think about, right? Satan he wants to harbor these negative emotions in our life. Especially anger. That's the one that we're getting into today. Anger is such a big one, and that actually goes into patience. Oh, let's see here. My bad. I haven't been looking at the chat. I apologize. Proverbs 9:10 through 12. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. Man, those verses are amazing, right? I like that part in there where it says, For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. Right? I like that. So let's see here. So it's actually interesting that this is actually one of the schemes of the devil, is to use our emotions. And actually, that's actually another strange thing. Wow, dude, these Bible studies are so weird, bro. It sounds ridiculous. I feel like I sound crazy to most people, you know. But the thing is, it kind of reminds me of like riding BMX. It's like this giant combo generator, bro. It's like, and it's so weird because I thought today I was just like, I don't even know what I'm going to get into today. Okay, well, yesterday we went into patience. Let's go into that. And then it's like, oh, it makes me think about this verse. It makes me think about this verse. And there's all these combos that I didn't even like have the force. Well, I guess I kind of have the foresight because I'm remembering it now. But at the time when I got into it, I didn't know it. And when we find these combos just on the spur of the moment, it's just fun. Like, I find that fun. And I like just like that whole, like, holy moly, I thought about that combo, and then this goes into that, and it's kind of fun for me. I don't know. And I feel like there's not many other books for me personally that I can really do that with. But there's this one verse that it says, Satan is known as a fowler, or like the fowler Bible verse. It's in Psalms. But a lot of people relate this verse into Satan, the snare of the fowler. Let's look that verse up. Snare of the fowler Bible verse, and it reminds me of something this pastor out in Long Beach when I used to live in my car. He used to bring this verse up a lot, right? And this is why I actually thought about it. for he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. It's kind of weird. That one says, the Berean Standard Bible says, surely he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly plague. And it's actually interesting thinking about the word pestilence and plague. I always thought it was like this giant disease or something, but in like some of the biblical translations of the word pestilence and plague, it actually just means like great harm upon lots of people. It's not just like this, it's not like just like some sort of toxic disease that gets spread around from every. It kind of is like that, but it's like even just something very negative that happens to a lot of people. That can even be considered like a pestilence or a plague. And it's just so weird now to think about that, because this pastor, I remember him bringing up, I think it was like a sermon about Satan's traps or something like that, right? Because Satan is known as a fowler. And if you guys didn't know what a fowler is actually somebody that traps birds. He like sets traps. And basically what this pastor, I remember him saying, is that sometimes the worst traps to be in are traps that we don't even know we're in. Like, imagine you being, like, our, like, leg getting caught in a trap, and we're like, oh, everything's totally fine, right? And we have this giant bear trap on our leg that we can barely even move. That's kind of what, it's like, strange to think about. And it's strange to think that Satan wants to trap us in our own minds. He wants to trap us even in our own dialogues and our own, like, internal monologues of how we react to situations, right? Because that's the other weird thing about getting deeper into Scripture that I've been noticing, is that our words actually have a lot of weight and a lot of power within our baseline emotions, right? When we go through these baseline emotions, like, say like anger or sadness or envy or jealousy or coveting or anxiety or worry, we associate all these emotions with words, right? And sometimes we don't actually realize the words that we're using in our own minds when we're going through these emotions, right? But what's weird is as I get deeper into God's Word, it's like God is making it very aware. I mean, if you start reading it a lot, right? He's making it very, very aware that these emotions have a lot of power upon people, upon societies, upon entire groups of people, bro. Like, these emotions have basically, it can make people kill one another. It can make people kill themselves. It can make people just commit heinous crimes. It can make people steal. It can make people basically do every single sin in the book, right? And that's what's crazy, bro, is that these emotions are so powerful, and it's just so weird. And it's so weird thinking that most people have grown up learning how to read. Maybe not everybody, right? But when we learn how to read, we all start gaining an internal monologue, right? And it's very interesting now. I honestly find it fascinating. It's very fascinating now when I do see someone get angry. Like, I'm talking about super angry, right? Or just like super or when I do observe people that are very sad and upset, or just in these very baseline emotions I'm talking about, and just thinking about the words that they're using, right? And just observing the words that they're using, right? And sometimes it's very interesting for me even to see some videos of people fighting one another, bro. And you hearing them, like, how there's like some videos and you'll see them like, there's like one person and they're like talking trash, and then this person's talking trash, and they're just like, before they start fighting, right? Before they even start fighting, what words are they using to each other? And I honestly find that very interesting, because I'm like, that's so interesting. Like, it's like one of those people could have actually ended the fight right there, but because maybe they want to just keep antagonizing one another and kind of wanting to be like the upper dog or something like that, they just keep just like wanting to like get into this conflict, right? And the saddest part about it is that some of these conflicts don't just end in just like this fist fight brawl and then they're like, okay, we're done. So, dude, a lot of these fights end up with somebody getting hurt, somebody getting beat down, maybe somebody getting jumped by multiple people, and then they feel totally weak, or they get totally beat down into the gutter, where they're like, oh, I don't know what else to do. I feel weak. Oh, what am I going to do? Boom, they get a gun or they get a knife, and then they start stabbing a bunch of people, or they start shooting up a bunch of people. It's ridiculous, bro. And it's so crazy that if we rewind it all back, it's like these words that they're using, man, they could have just ended the fight right there. And I don't know, I find that very interesting. I'm just like, man, just the psychology of how these emotions are driving these people into dissension is just ridiculous, man. I'm just like, holy moly, bro. It's like, yeah. And I guess the other very, very gnarly thing, I know we drew that card yesterday. Let's see if we have it. Did I have it out? I think it was one of these last cards that I drew. Yeah. It was this card right here, right? We drew it out yesterday, right? It's called Curse Break, right? And in James 3 actually goes into curses and stuff like that. And he basically talks about our words. And here's the other big thing about it is thinking about all these situations, right? That we could even be, I guess you have to have the situational awareness of where you're at. But it's actually very interesting to think that we could actually maybe somehow heal or even end some of these crazy brawls and very negative things that might happen in some people's lives. Or maybe we could end up encouraging someone to keep having hope and maybe not take their own life and things of like that. And it's actually just super gnarly, right? And it's not like we have to like, and many times it's not like, oh, we're just going to give them like $1 million or something like that, right? Because sometimes we can't do that, right? But we can use our words, and we can use our words in such a way where we can actually try and heal people, right? Because that actually goes into another combo. Man, dude, these Bible studies are so weird. Today's weird. Today's like a very combo-y day. Yesterday was very like, I'm just reading a bunch of commentaries. But it goes into this verse right here. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing, right? The tongue of the wise. We're called to actually heal people with our words, right? In terms of like if you're a believer and stuff like that. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but something to be very aware of, I think. Let's see. I've totally gotten off track. Holy moly! Oh wait, we basically almost finished this Bible study thing right in here. Let's read this very last part of it. If you don't know how Satan schemes, then you will be outwitted time and time again. But now you know that when you get angry and use hurtful words, you're giving Satan a foothold in your life and your relationships. So you will be able to stop the quarrel before it's... Dude, that is so funny, bro. We literally just talked about that. We literally just talked about that. That's so funny that this guy just wrote... Yeah, you're right. So you will be able to stop the quarrel before it starts. And not even just a quarrel, but even if you were aware, like, you know, like right before you get angry, there's kind of like this buildup of just like tension that you feel. You're just like, oh, you just get like frustrated, right? You're just like, but if you can stop that at the root, and you can kind of give some encouraging words and just be like, okay, let's not get angry. Let's you know. And one of the other reasons that I think about it is there was actually one time, and unfortunately I actually knew a bunch of riders, maybe not a bunch of riders, I actually probably only known maybe 3 or 4 riders, but they were super gnarly riders and they actually quit, right? But I remember them, and I remember like they would always get super, super angry, like super angry, bro. Like I'm talking about they would like throw their bike and they would be like cursing and all this stuff. Now I know some people, that's how they relieve some tension, and that's actually how they relieve some fear. So I'm not saying it's always a bad thing, but you know, it's good to be aware of. But the thing is, I remember some of those guys, and some of those guys don't even ride anymore. I'm just kind of like, I'm wondering, like, did they just get so angry or like so frustrated that they don't even want to ride anymore or something like that, right? I don't know, right? But what's weird is I used to ride with some of them, and the thing was, is I wonder if their emotions kind of like spurned me on. And there was one time when I was trying to get a clip, and I had this old fit Mikey Aiken S3.5 actually frame, and it had the teardrop down tube, and I literally remember it specifically. And I got really mad trying to get this clip on my bike one time, and I threw my bike, right? And I just threw my bike, and I bent my frame on a light pole. And like, I just remember it completely, because you know what ended up happening? I bent my bike frame because I got angry and threw my bike, and the bend in my frame actually turned into a giant crack, and I cracked my frame in half. And so ever since then, I like tried to not ever throw my bike. Now there are some occasions where you should throw your bike, especially if you're like on a dirt jump and like the bike's about to fall on top of you. You probably should throw your bike as far away from you as possible. Try not to hurt anybody else. But in most cases, I highly not recommend throwing your bike if you get angry, because you might end up just breaking your bike, and you might get really upset because you're like, oh my god, I could have just... And I just remember that after the fact, I was like, bro, why did I throw my bike? I just messed my entire bike up. And it's not. You know, I literally remember the exact same day I was at the skate park. Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's my own. I don't even know. I guess I know why I talked about that is because it's very important. So if you can stop doing some things, maybe certain outbursts that we can have when we're angry, if we can stop it at the core, then it can maybe not bleed into other negative things in our life. And I know it sounds very like common sense. All this stuff is actually probably basically pretty common sense, right? But sometimes if we word it in such a way, sometimes we remember it more, because I've noticed sometimes I'll do these Bible studies, I'll study about anger, I'll study about frustration, and when push comes to shove, when the rubber meets the road, and when you actually go through these emotions sometimes these things that you studied are actually not in your mind. Unfortunately. So okay, well, that was the Bible study. Now, much quicker Bible study, I guess, today, but a very important Bible study. I think it's a very important Bible study. I guess today's thing will be about it'll be like patience and anger, or like how the devil uses our anger, or something like that. Okay, let's do a card draw. Now, isn't that crazy, man? Words are a trip. Okay, let's do a card draw now, and then let's get into bike riding. I think the saddest part is what we're talking about right now. Someone's actually experiencing it, right? That's the scary thing. We're probably right at this very moment. Someone probably could be dying right at this very moment from anger, or hurting another person because of anger. And that's actually very sad to think about. And hopefully, if you guys know that, then hopefully we can thwart. I don't even think I've ever used that word. We can thwart those emotions away and maybe stir them more into love, and more into patience, and more into resilience, and fortitude, and vitality, and stamina, and endurance, and have these set before us and keep going, even if it seems very confusing or hard, or you're going through some trials or crazy tribulations. Just keep having those words in your mind. Just keep going. Let's do this card draw. I want to really shuffle this thing up. I want to see what I draw today. There were so many new cards I put in here. I haven't been drawing them lately. It's weird. There's literally like so many. I put in like 10 new cards in here, and I haven't drawn them. I've only drawn them, like, I've barely drawn any of them, actually. It's weird. So okay. Alrighty, let's cut this. Man, I love these new sleeves. These new sleeves are cool looking. This color just is awesome, man. I really like it. Oh yeah, what am I doing? We're doing it. Alright, first card of the day. What will it be? It's like cracking open an Easter egg every single day, huh? Ooh, interesting. Huh. On this card. This is actually one of the new cards I put in there. We drew Selfless Spirit. Spirit Cleric. Look at that. This is one of the new cards I put in there. There's always more to give. Man, that card looks gnarly, huh? Selfless Spirit. Same card? Ooh, interesting. 2 holographic cards so far. Aegis Angel. This one has doves in the background. Some say doves are actually a representation of the Holy Spirit. Yeah, that card looks awesome, actually. Number 3. Ooh, interesting. Hidden Ancients. This one reminds me of Matthew 13:32. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. I've actually memorized that verse because of this card. Because look, that little white thing right there, it's like a little bird. Interesting. So that's actually one verse I've actually started memorizing. Got Guardian of Faith. I like that. Oh my goodness, we got Curse Break again, bro. What in the world, bro? I shuffled that entire... I freaking shuffled that entire set. We drew this card again, dude. That is weird, bro. That is bizarre, actually. Ooh, okay, Sunblast Angel. Man, I have a lot of holographic angels. Okay, and I'm going to do my last draw on my Instagram. So let's push this out. Put my Instagram up in here. Let's take it off of our Wi-Fi. I wonder how I should do it. Oh, I'll just do it like this. Greetings, travelers. Welcome to the draw of the day. Today we have Selfless Spirits, Aegis Angel, Hidden Ancients, Guardian of Faith, Curse Break again, Sunblast Angel, and for the last card of the day, we have Test of Faith. Interesting. This reminds me of Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee, though no one pursue, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. These like these lion characters. They have this Test of Faith. Huh? Interesting. Who did this one? Vance Kovacs. Shoutouts to Vance Kovacs. And this is the flavor text. By the way, this one says, "Those who survive the test bear a mark of power anyone can recognize." Interesting. Well, anyway, everybody, try your best. Have fun. Done. I'll do like this. #MTG. By the way, I think you could put hashtags on your stories. I don't know if they still work, but one, two, three, four, and I think you put 5 hashtags on a story, and then you can push them to the side so you don't see them, and you can just press this button right here. Boom. We got our art Instagram. I've been trying to curate the art Instagram again, and the card draw is a good way just to put out a story. That's kind of like, because I really don't know what else I'd put. I mean, I guess you could make a story out of anything, but oh yeah, I forgot to show the card. This is the card we drew today. Test of Faith. It's gnarly. Yabba Gooba. Yabba Gooba. Alright, let's chug some coffee now. Holy moly, you did that? That is insane, bro. Is that pegless? Wow, dude. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Dude, I thought I read this comment and I didn't. Man, I didn't read this comment. Let's read it. Philippians 3, 9, 11. And may be found in him, not having a righteousness of thine own derived from the law, but that which is through faith in Christ, the righteousness which comes from God on the basis of faith. 10. That I may know him and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being conformed to his death, in order that I may attain to the resurrection from the dead. From the dead to life. Less death and more life. And in some weird ways, it sounds ridiculous, but in some weird ways, like the more seeds we start planting, right? Hopefully we can start spreading more of life and less death, right? And I know it sounds weird. It's like, how can we be spreading more life than death? We just went into a whole topic on emotions and what happens to anger, like, you know, all the people that have died because of anger, you know. And if we can give more people endurance and just, you know, resolute ways to how to handle their emotions, maybe we can lead more people into life and less death. Intriguing. We'll take that all with a grain of salt, right? Okay, let's see here. What are we doing up in here? I'm just like, man, it's just so easy just to like, just scroll, bro. Okay, let's not scroll. Just get into writing, dude. Just so easy, man. I feel like it's just like so easy just to get caught in the scroll. Instead of scrolling, let's stroll the tire and scuff the tires. right there.
Let's do this.
Pretty good song. This is a new song. Came out 5 hours ago. Copyright free. I do want to learn the funky chicken more. I feel like that trick looks so weird. I wish I could do the kind of like the fire hydrant, the funky chicken more. How do I do that? There's a way they do a fire hydrant into a spinning funky chicken. I want to get the funky chicken left, dude. See if that's it on today.
feel like I can land it if I just keep doing it. That, and then start some free. Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to learn a half packer. Across.
Were you recently injured in a car accident?
Eight right there. Woo! That was cool. Ah!
thing's hard. How do you do that? This song was actually pretty cool.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration. I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Order the mango and man. Two fries and 2 Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
Oh, that could be pretty loose actually, yeah. It finally came loose. Yeah, that thing is super loose.
Fantastic. Thank you, man. Trying to have fun, man. Oh, it's fun. It's hard. I think it's hard. I think some people might think it's easy, but it's challenging, man. These tricks take so long to learn. It's weird. Longer for me. I don't know why. But. Whew. 10 days ago, what is this? Yeah, it's really satisfying, man. I love it, actually. Just landing something feels so rare sometimes. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually landed something. So close to that thing. Whew. Do I have 2 bikes? I actually don't have 2 bikes at the moment. I have enough parts I could probably build up another bike, but yeah, I just ride one. I did try out trying to ride 2 bikes before, but I get messed up with the geometry. So this is kind of my all-around bike. I just ride everything with this street, park, flatland. Maybe I should build up another bike though. I am going to get a really cheap Walmart bike though. Kind of show people you could do this on many different types of bikes. Yeah, there's some way on my bike. Wait, do you ride BMX too? I don't meet too many I'm gonna be honest, I don't meet a lot of BMX riders on Twitch. Most of the people that watch this stream are actually here for the Bible study. Funny thing is. Oh, I'm so bad at that. Oh, you do? Oh, sweet, dude. I'm gonna give you a follow. Here, let's see here. I'll give you a follow, bro. I don't meet a lot of BMX riders, dude. You're probably the 10th BMX rider I've ever met on Twitch. And I've been streaming for like 2 years. Let's see, how can I give you a follow? Let's see here. Oh wait, I'm actually already following you. Oh wait, no wait, let's see here. Husky Nation, wait, are you what's that guy's name? I forgot his name. You make those YouTube videos? Oh, what's his name? Oh freaking I forgot it. It's let's see here. I know Husky Nation. It's kind of weird because I know that for sure. I forgot. What's his name, dude?
He lives like in Florida or something. I can't remember. What's his name? I forgot. I literally just watched the video. Let's see. Let me give you a follow. Boom, I got you. Dang, bro, I got you a follow, brother. I got you a follow.
Eric, no, it's not. Dude, I'm trying not to look it up because I know Jay Dalton. I know that dude's like friends with Jay. I know, but I can't remember. Darn, I know Jay's name, but I can't remember the other guy's name. I know he rides with that dude with dreads. If that's you, bro, I'm sorry. I can't remember your name, dude. I literally just saw a video. Darn it. I won't land it. Spencer. Now I remember. This is Spencer's Foreman. Sportsman. Is that his name? I'm pretty sure. It sucks because I follow that dude on YouTube. I've seen a lot of his videos. That's you. Spencer. You know what? I've actually never met you. A lot of my friends have, though. You know Preston Cawthorn? Hey, I didn't know that's you, bro. That's hilarious, man. So here, get this, bro. I use Twitch as an unlimited external hard drive. And the funny thing is, right, as I tore my ACL, I never got surgery, right? And that's kind of what got me into flatline. I used to not always ride flatline. I actually have only been riding flatline for 3 years now. But the thing is that once I started learning flatland, I would record on this phone, right? And I only have, this phone's like filled with memory. I only have like 10 minutes I could film on this phone. And I have to like chop up the clip, edit it, and all that stuff. And so what started happening is I would like be filming on my phone like this, right? I'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna get a flat clip. I'm like filming, I land something, right? It took me like 500 tries, bro. I look back on my phone, it's like storage full, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? I literally just landed that thing and it says storage full. So what started happening is I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start streaming this stuff, right? And the thing is, I'm just been using Twitch as like some sort of unlimited external hard drive. That's crazy, bro. You shred, man. You're a shredder, dude. I don't really go on the East Coast that much. I actually haven't really even been on the East Coast that much.
brakes, man. Yeah, I beat you like 3 times. Yeah, I know, cause like I don't know if you remember Preston Cawthorn. I'm pretty sure he's ridden with you. I think I remember him. Reminded me of that. The thing was, is I was living in Long Beach, but then the plague happened, and then I moved back to my parents' house, and then I tore my ACL. And the thing is, I still haven't got surgery. So, if you ever tear your ACL and you don't want to get surgery, you can ride flatline. I was supposed to get surgery, but then like one doctor was like, okay, we're going to schedule the surgery, all that. And then I went to another doctor. He was like, oh, well, you should do physical therapy first. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the physical therapy. And then a lot of the maneuvers in physical therapy, they actually remind me of scuffing. And that's kind of what got me into scuffing, right? Like this. So that's what I started learning, kind of to help my ACL out. And I've been riding like that ever since. But yeah, there's not much BMX riders on Twitch. In 2 years of streaming, I've only met like 10 BMX riders. It's crazy. Most of the people that actually watch the stream actually are just believers. That's the funny thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I have it tagged under BMX. That's crazy, dude. Dude, you're on it, bro. You're a gnarly rider, Spencer, dude. I apologize for not remembering your name, dude. I literally see you on YouTube a lot, dude. Dude, we got some new maneuvers up in here. Let's see if we can do some new maneuvers up in here. Oh, I didn't crush him out. Dodge. I'm one of the weird flatlanders that doesn't run a free coaster. I use my pedal pressure too much. I'm a pedal pressure guy. Yep, ride the manual crank flip. Another one. This is a trick that kind of, now it sounds weird. Here's some weird lore. Some weird lore of this trick, right? So this trick actually kind of got me into flatland. And there's like these 2 mysterious flatlanders that are super gnarly. And they're like really big believers, right? And I don't know what about it, but they're like promoting God and stuff like this. And it kind of what's got me into flatland. It's called a stick beat no hander. Switch with stick beat, bar spin, no hander. Do it, Dylan. Alright. I won't do the whole combo. Almost upside down toe. Yeah, I like pedal pressure.
The fresh timer starts the minute a tomato gets picked. That's why it sticks. We shorten the time.
Weren't you trying to learn cliffhangers, dude? Did you learn cliffhangers yet? Bro, I have been stuck on the cliffhanger for like 2 years now. I do not know how they do it. They make it look so easy, man. Here, check it out. I did make this, you know the Hang 5 machine? I saw some people using the Hang 5 machine to learn cliffhangers. And I've been trying to do it. I could do it on the Hang 5 machine, but I can't do it on here. So I saw some people, you've probably already seen it, but I saw some Flatlanders. They have the Hang 5 machine and then they put like some paracord right here and they made like an adjustable knot right here. And so I can do the cliffhanger like this because they make it look so easy. I'm actually doing it on the bike. I've been trying to learn that trick. I think, weren't you trying to learn that? I think this is how one way they try to learn it. Yeah. Something like that. It's easy on this thing, but it's hard on the bike. I can't do it on the bike. The trick kind of looks like a cross. Hard to land. Yeah, that's a trick I've been trying to learn. I give you some tips. You want to learn the cliffhanger? But I'm still stuck on it. The windshield wiper. Oh yeah, you're trying to learn the windshield wiper to Hang 5, right? That's hard. I've never done one of those. Those are hard. Here, I'll give you another little inside scoop. So there's this gnarly. You've probably seen him. His name's Chris Bohm. He's one of the first Flatlanders I met out in Long Beach. He's from Germany, out of all the places, right? It's kind of weird because I haven't met my first Flatlanders until I went out to Long Beach. But Chris Bohm put me on this thing right here. This thing right here. Basically a wood thing. You've probably seen it. People have been kind of starting to make these things a little bit. You can make them out of metal and stuff like that. But this actually might help you with your windshield wiper to Hang 5. Now the thing is that thing's really easy. That thing's like really easy to learn tricks on, but when you actually try and learn it, like it doesn't replicate the pressure you need on your peg, right? And it doesn't replicate that, but it does help a lot. Let's see here. Windshield wiper, huh? So I think that would be like right. The thing is, I could do it on here. It's just hard actually in person. Yeah, Chris Bohm. You should look him up. Chris Bohm's gnarly. He's like a really really gnarly flatlander for Germany. He's the one that kind of taught me this stuff. But you could also try and learn your cliffhangers like this. Oh wait, hamster. You also learn hitchhikers. And stuff like that. Thing is this thing's hard. Like, it's really easy to learn it on here, but then it's like, it feels impossible actually trying to learn it in person. But it kind of just gives you that muscle memory, I guess. Oh, it's cool.
Year after year, a raisin toothpaste can damage your teeth.
But actually doing it in real life is hard. See if I got a cliffhanger for you, bro. I've only landed one in here, but I'll give it a shot. It's brutal. Basically, every time I do that, I just flip over. That thing's hard, dude. That trick's brutal. I don't know how they do it so easy. Lately, I've been about the fire whips, the multi-fire hydrants. I landed a good, like, quad one yesterday. Oh, I almost did a triple bar. You think? I'm like used to it now. It's a 15 by 15 square foot area. I'll show you. This is actually what a lot of flatlanders practice in. A lot of flatlanders practice in this exact same square footage. But what's crazy is, see this white square? I've been seeing some pros, and they actually practice in a 5 by 7 foot square, or some even practice in a 5 by 5 square. Because what it does is it literally forces you to make these really extreme carves. And when you do these extreme carves, it throws you into like a different trick. So it's pretty crazy. I'm not good at that though, but there are some flatlanders I've been seeing. This is like, that's like their local spot, a 5 by 7 foot square. Imagine that's just your local spot, just like. And it's crazy because I'm like, why aren't there more flatlanders, bro? Because like, pretty sure most people can find a 5 by 7 foot square. Small and it's hard to see. Yeah. It's crazy, huh? This shirt's pretty cool, The Undertaker. I think you'd be into The Undertaker. Sounds weird, but I learned this trick because The Undertaker's a believer. And so I wanted to learn it. Shout out to The Undertaker, the wrestler. Oh wait, I need a new song.
Just a few clicks to ship. Moving your car has never been easier. Here's how it should.
Isn't it also it's an ignorant company after meadows, or valleys, or farms? If your heads don't grow on meadows, valleys, or farms, maybe we should call ourselves Vital Actual Farms.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Vital Farms, keeping it local and free.
I've been talking to some flatlanders. There's actually some flatlanders I've met on here. they basically been saying what's happening in America is that like in the UK and Europe and stuff like this and Japan, bro, they have like all these flatland schools. Like they literally have schools that just teach flatland. It's hilarious, right? But I guess like some of these flatlanders that I've been meeting, they're saying that like in America there's like no flatland schools or something like that. So, and that's the other weird thing is that's actually another reason I started streaming, because the state that I'm in, New Mexico, dude, there's only 2 other flatlanders in the entire state, bro. I don't even live by them, bro. So it's like, flatland can get really like lonesome. It can get a little isolated, and I miss the camaraderie of the skate park. So I kind of just started streaming. My wheel keeps shifting. I'm not really running a flatline cam. I am running the Colt Tech 19.9, so it's a little smaller than usual. Shout out to Rod and Rob. He hooked it up. The skate park of many cars. That's the skate park I grew up at, man. My parents used to just drop me off at Los Altos when I was a little kid. I don't really even think it's that sketchy, but it's just people that get drunk and sell drugs. That's what's sketchy. And then people like, that's basically what makes it sketchy, honestly. But if you just stay away from the drunk people and you stay away from the drugs, you probably won't get in too much crime. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do The Undertaker. Right here. Shout out to wrestler The Undertaker, if he's a believer. Denny's already getting in flat. He already puts out a lot of clubs. Honestly, he's probably the next person that's going to get into flat in the next. Honestly, he already kind of is. Honestly. How much PSI are you running? Because that's the other thing is I started, like a lot of flatlanders run a bunch of PSI. And for a while I was actually against using a lot of PSI, but you can really feel it. So lately I've been using 120. But I've heard some flatland riders go up to 145. So generally the basis is like they're using 100 to 145 PSI. 60 most of the time? Yeah, I used to run really low. I used to run like Simone Baracco. You know how Simone Baracco used to run like 35? I used to run like really low PSI. You can just like carve it and like, it's weird, like once you kind of learn the higher PSI, like you can kind of like, you have like a better balance point. It's weird. Like you can like feel it. But it doesn't seem like that, because it seems really twitchy, right? Like when you up your PSI, but like once you kind of like learn the twitch, I guess, like it kind of, it like gives you a little bit more room to save tricks, actually. That's what it feels like, anyway. That was the first line I landed. But yeah, my streams are really weird. So I do these Bible studies. We're on Bible study 600 and what are we on? Like 687 or something like that. I love the chicken. So we got an upside down tail. Just going straight to it then. I got tired. Ooh. I actually landed the upside down toe. Spencer, that's a rare one for me. That was really sketcy, but I landed it. That was line 2 of the day. Have a good one, bro. Spencer, keep shredding, dude. Keep up all the good work, man. You're helping promote the bike industry, bro. The more bike riders, the better the industry gets, right? Let's see here. I know nothing about BMX. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bella. I need some water. It took a lot of energy out of me. Bella, how did you find this stream? I'm always curious how people find this stream. Because I don't really like promote this stream anywhere. That's the funny thing. I guess I kind of do. I have it on my art Instagram, but... Well, let's see here. I follow a lot of workout channels on Twitch, and the word gospel attracted me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Most people that actually watch this stream, they're actually just believers. Most people actually don't even watch the BMX segment of the stream. They actually just listen to the Bible study. That's the funny thing. I just combine them both together. We're tired. Stoked, we landed 2 lions, and that second one's kind of sketchy though. Let's see here. Do 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 do. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. I've lost 226 pounds, so a workout community is important to me. And I'm a Christian, so obviously he's number one to me also. That's awesome. I know, I've heard that a lot, like so many years too, just like growing up. You know, like when you're growing up and you like go to church and stuff like that. All these pastors like saying like, put God first, you know. And that's what we're trying to do. But that's awesome, yeah, just being encouraged by other people. And that is really awesome. That's a big accomplishment to make. That is a huge accomplishment to make. I think the big one is just trying to like, in some weird way, I feel like just getting moving sometimes, and once you get to the point where you like kind of start getting a runner's high, and you can kind of almost just like start getting addicted to that, it starts feeling like really good, right? And I guess that's why they call it a runner's high, right? Just endorphins in your mind. I honestly think it's a mixture of adrenaline and like something in your mind that happens, right? I don't know exactly what it is, but something that they call it a runner's high, right? But if you could just get into that state and try and get in that state a lot, it really makes it a lot more fun. And then God will also give you the right frame of mind to gain some endurance. Oh yeah, there's actually a verse that it reminds me of. There's this one verse that says, it's from David, and he says, he turned my mourning into dancing. Let me look it up real quick. Might give you some inspirations to keep going. Let's see here. It was, he turned my mourning into dancing. He turned my mourning into dancing. What verse is that? I've done like 2 Bible studies on it. It's Psalms 30, 11 through 12. This verse. And honestly, like when I look at that verse, right? I'm just going to read it right here. It says, "You have turned for me my mourning into dancing. You have loosed my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, and that my glory may sing your praise and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever." So yeah, that verse. And I feel like when I did some Bible studies on that verse, it kind of just reminds me of just like almost like kind of like, it kind of reminds me of even just like moving around, right? And sometimes when we're at our lowest points in life and just being super depressed to the point of mourning, and our sadness is just the ultimate, maybe the best thing to do is just move, man. Because I feel like sometimes when we sit around and sulk a bit, like it just makes us think way too much about our problems and stuff like that. Maybe the best thing to do is just to move around and just like, in some ways, maybe even get a runner's high. Sounds ridiculous, but you look deeper into that. Oh yeah, let's see here. I'm a new Christian all over again. I fell away for years. I just came back home a month ago. Oh, that's awesome. What was I doing? I forgot what I was. I'm tired now. Oh yeah, let's do the side donut. Trick's hard. We got seltzer water. Have you tried to start streaming? I feel like if you tried to start streaming, it would really give you some encouragement as well. I have heard from multiple streamers right now that, actually more than multiple, a lot of streamers. When you get everything set up and you just press the go live button, it just kind of gets you to go out and do stuff, you know? Kind of gives you that like little push to kind of keep going. Yeah, it's already been 2 hours, huh? I streamed once. I'm going to do it again. Everyone keeps telling me to. Yeah. I think the big thing about streaming is you just gotta like not think about the numbers. That's how I do it. I honestly treat streaming kind of like this giant external hard drive, because I don't have much memory on my phone, so I basically just use streaming like some sort of giant camera storage device. And also, you can like save all your streams, by the way, too. A lot of people don't know that. It's so weird how I ask a lot of people about streaming, and they don't realize that you can save all of your streams. Like, you can literally save like 20-hour streams if you make it a highlight, right? And they get saved onto your video producer forever. Like, they don't like just get deleted, right? Now, your videos on demand get away. They go away in 2 weeks, but if you make it a highlight, they get saved in your backlog of videos, which is very interesting. Your iPhone? It might just be your internet, because you can use a pretty old phone to stream. You just need to have the right internet. That's the most hard part, I think, to get. It's just the right internet. Oh, the battery. You just have to keep it plugged in. Well, you should probably use your use a different phone. If you have an old phone, you should do. What's wrong with my bike? Bike feels weird. I feel odd. I don't know why. I tried using my iPad, but the app won't hook up to this account, and customer service won't help. Huh. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I'll show you here. I'll show you my setup right now. Because the thing is sometimes you have to like run it through your computer. This is actually the setup that I have. So I'm actually streaming it on this laptop. And then I'm using an old iPhone, and then this right here is OBS. I'm using OBS. It's kind of got a lot of settings and stuff. It's pretty intimidating, but once you get it all set up, it's all good. But you can use the mobile app. This phone's just really old, and the mobile app doesn't work on this phone anymore. And then basically I have it connected right here. And then, yeah, I'm just streaming this on the phone though. Oh man, I'm really sore right now for some reason. You have to use the mobile app. There's actually this one thing I see some streamers doing, and they have like, I don't know what it's called, but they have some sort of setup like this, right? They have like a road bike, and they have a setup where they're like this. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a Peloton. I think they have a Peloton, and then they have like this computer screen right here, and they're literally like racing people like on the internet on their Peloton. It's crazy. There's a whole section on Twitch for it. It's actually a game. I'm just sore because I fell one time. I don't know what I fell on, but I fell on something. I'm gonna practice funky chicken tailwhips. Oh, shit is so hard, man. I'm so bad at it. My bike feels sketchy. I think something's broken. Ooh, that trick's gnarly. I have yet to land that trick yet. I'm stuck on it. They make it look so easy too. Wait a minute. Is my front wheel? Oh, it is my front wheel. Darn it. Something felt weird on my bike. My front wheel. Works really. It seems to be coming loose. It's weird. I need to get the right tool. I gotta fix my lighting. I don't even have that thing there. There we go. Girl, my bike's been messed up this entire time. So I've been riding very good.
Please be careful. I'll try. Flatline's the safest BMX discipline.
You can still get hurt riding flatline, but not as much, really. Pretty safe.
Oh my goodness, dude. My bike was messed up this entire time. I kept thinking it was my back wheel, but it wasn't.
Ooh.
That's good right there.
I don't really have time for movies. I'm a girl that lives for literature.
Monkey chicken tail. Trick's hard. Trick's gnarly. I've been stuck on that one for a long time. Yeah, we've also been trying fire hydrant to front yard no-hander. Almost ate it. Man, I've come to the conclusion I'm just really bad at front wheel tricks. Front wheel tricks are just like I just can never land them. Front wheel tricks are just brutal, man. They're so gnarly to learn. Ooh. Like all these tricks, man. I can't land a single one. What? Oh my goodness. Maybe one day I'll learn them. What other ones were they working on? Oh yeah, fire hydrant, front yard no-hander. Right there. toast. A new cigar.
I don't mind like this elbow black. I don't even know what I was doing. This guy like does like some kind of repetitive beats, but they're cool. I dig it. You guys have any lines for these songs? Share them in the comments. I'm just kidding. I guess no, I'm not kidding. I like to hear it. What's this? Another new song. Ooh, I've heard this song before. I like finding copyright-free music. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, let's try and learn the side donut. Side donut. It's impossible. Feels impossible. I've been stuck on this thing for like 2 months. What am I doing wrong, bro? I literally don't understand. It's so hard. It's so hard to land. I think you gotta slow it down. Oh, that was it. I got a little closer. I think I figured one more step back to this puzzle. You gotta like do a long step, slow it down a little bit, and then switch your foot and then try and do a fire hydrant.
If you guys have any tips on what I'm doing wrong, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's just I can't land it. I've like literally tried 3 ride outs already. I've tried the normal ride out, I've tried this ride out, I've tried the other ride out. All these ride outs are hard. I think the ride out I'm doing is the easiest one, but I can't do it, so. I'm seeing it in the little screen. It seems like I'm about to land it. Like maybe I need to put my body. I think what I also need to do. I think I need to like do a big scuff, slow it down, and then just put my momentum over here. So like, cause like every time I do it, it's like my momentum wants to go like this. So maybe I have to like just suck it up and like go right in the front of it. Let's try that. I feel like I lose my corona. It's weird. What's wrong with me? It's okay. It is alright. I just gotta grind it. This is one of these weird tricks. There's like no how-tos on how to do it. There's one how-to and they just teach you this. They're just like, okay, ride in like this. Right? They don't teach you how to land it. They don't teach you how to ride into it. And you're just like, what in the world, bro? Because this trick I'm doing, I see a lot of flatlanders doing it. So it's like they learned it. There's just a secret to it, I guess. I don't know. Alright, we're moving on. Still stuck on that one. Let's try and do some locomotives. Another trick that like barely any how-tos on how to do it, but shout out to Kevin Jones, he's the creator of this trick. I'm gonna try and learn it. You gotta adjust your brakes a little bit. That's the weird thing about flatland is sometimes you got to like adjust your brakes with certain tricks. What I do anyway. There actually is a form on Global Flat, but this trick, for some reason, I can't find much information on it. all these tricks that I'm working on right now are really hard for me. Like I've been stuck on them for many moons now. We're trying to go for ourselves. I guess let's try the backyard no-hander. Maybe that one is easier to do today. Oh, that was good right there. Oh, that trick's so cool looking. It looks like a cross, man.
Ouch, baby. Right at the grocery store, celebrities really are just like us. We're not.
That one looks like a cross. Hard though. I think the backyard no-hander is easier than the locomotive, because I can get into the backyard no-hander, but the locomotive, I could barely get into it. Oh, close. I'm so close to landing it. Let me go check outside. See what the weather's like. This is a good song. It's kind of like repetitive, but I dig it. It's already in steel.
Let's do this! Let's go!
Like you're no-hander. I was gonna ride outside, but it's kind of windy, so. I didn't think so. What am I doing wrong?
need to get a little bit more in the frame. You need to go a little bit more at an angle. Right here. All right, I'm gonna switch off. I'm just gonna switch off with these really hard tricks. We're gonna try backyard no-hander, locomotive, funky chicken tail whip, fire hydrant, to front yard no-hander, and then the side donut. And then, yeah. And then maybe a turbine steamroller, the funky chicken. Just gonna funnel through these tricks. Tricks that we're trying to learn. Maybe I should just learn funky chicken's front yard. Huh. Oh yeah, fire hydrant to the front yard. Oh, no. These are basically all my maxed out rep tricks. I can't do them. I'm trying to learn. Actually landed that. That was really weird. I actually landed that. That was weird. It's kind of like a cheat one, but we landed that. Huh. Let's see if I can do it again. Bro, we almost landed it. We almost did.
I chose St. George's University School of Medicine because at the time that I wanted to go into med.
Holy moly. That was weird. I wonder if God, I think I like switched my feet and just like dropped it down like that. And somehow landed it. I guess you could go into maybe I could land it into a track stand. Let's try that. Oh, dude, you could do a track stand. Huh. Whoa. Maybe.
closely leveling up. It's a very grindy trick to level up. It's like I'm drilling, bro. I'm drilling into the earth. What's wrong with me? This tune right here, this tune's cool. I like this tune. Yeah, these are all copyright-free songs. I try and listen to copyright-free music so when I export these on YouTube, I don't get like... I don't know if you get in trouble, but... Someone said not to use copyright music, so I'm trying not to do it. You actually can get in trouble on Twitch, but a lot of people don't get in trouble with it. Opa!
Oopa grappa.
Oopa gabba, oopa gabba, oopa gabba, oopa gabba. Freaking hard. You guys are crazy. I don't know how you guys get so good at this one. We did kind of land with it. What should I... Yeah, we're gonna do Funky Chicken Salad. More hard tricks. Okay, almost there, right there. Oh, it's close. We're getting closer. Did it. Oh, dude, I'm about to redo this thing. I'm so happy. I've been stuck on this thing for like 2 years. Oh, dude, we're so close. This is a 2-year clip right here. You just gotta get that right. There's like this little level of the funky chicken you can like stall it out. And then you can do the whip. You just gotta get that right little stall. I see what you're trying to do. Hopefully I got it. I'm probably not going to land it today, but we've been after it for quite a bit of time. It's hard to like have the whip and like it not like push you from side to side. Like you have to like get the right whip and the right speed so it doesn't knock you out of your like balance point. Because every time that I see that's what's happening, like every time I throw the whip, like it's like throwing me out of my balance point. Oh, that's good. Oh man. Once we got closer, that's cool. Man, this song's like slow. It's crazy you're still watching the stream. Most people don't even watch the biking segment. You ain't just listen to the Bible study. I appreciate that. You don't have to watch these streams. I'm just practicing. Just trying to learn these maneuvers. have that physique, man. What this one? Is this a funky chicken beat? This might be a funky chicken beat right here. This is the beat, man. I don't know if this one's the beat. Got this one. Is it free? That's not free. It's not copyright. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is the funky chicken beat. Okay, we're doing the other trick. At least we're getting closer with both of these. People just think I'm crazy. I'm really stuck on these tricks, man. Sometimes I wonder if it's just my bike geometry. I'm wondering if this trick's just easier without brakes. Because like I feel like when I hit my brake, it kind of messes me up. You think I'm crazy? Well, let's hear. I always try to find new interests, but I'm afraid I'll annoy people. You're asking people to watch you in public form, so it's less creepy. I mean, that's the thing, yeah. Honestly, like I like streaming because like learning flatland where I'm at right now is like kind of seems kind of like just isolating. So like streaming it kind of there's like the sense of camaraderie at least that I can just kind of like practice talking and stuff like that, because that's kind of how the skate parks are at, you know, like when you get a skate park, you get banter with everybody there, they pump you up, it's cool. Oh my goodness, I've only landed 2 things all day today. Man, the pro flatlanders are so crazy, dude. Like, they're insane, bro. Like, I can barely land anything. And they're just landing everything like first try. It's insane, bro, to think about. It's literally insane. Alright, what about this trick? For some reason that one's hard for me. Like, you think that one would be easy, but it's actually hard for me. What about, I haven't tried the boomerang line. Oh, I'm tired. Fudge. At least we learned, we got a little closer to side donut and then the funky chicken toe, so we're stoked.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm like slow. I can tell when I get tired. I just move slower. How long will this one sit here? 3 hours? this really. Are we gonna do a funky chicken one? Let's see here. Man, funky chickens are fun now. I really like that trick. It's so fun now. Have a good one. Farewell. Man, that's a long song. Holy moly. So close yet so far. Dude, it's like I forgot this trick. Can't do it anymore. Oh, I gotta do it now. Don't tell me I lost this thing. We ran a wall. Brutality.
Man, that was so worth all that effort to land that weird line. That was brutal. I think that was brutal. I guess that wasn't that crazy, but it's hard for me. Actually, I haven't done that line before. Now I think about it, we did funky chicken steamroller, switch hand steamroller, fakey steamroller, switch hand funky chicken, to track stand no hander, to gerator briefcase barseman. We're stoked. I've never done that line before. Woo. I think that might be the line of the day. I'm stoked. We landed something. Man, it feels so good to land something. It just feels ridiculous, actually. I'm just like, yes. I don't even care if anybody sees it. That's just like that's why I like flatland, is I don't even care if I get many views at all. It's just freaking hard to land some of this stuff. And I'm just like, what in the world actually landed? Holy moly. Alrighty, well, some buddies want to hang out, so fortunately anybody watches these streams, even though most of you guys just listen to the Bible study, we're going to end the stream right here. We're going to end it on some verses. Let's see here, what verse are we going to end it on? Let's actually end it on some patience verses, man. That's what flatland is, man. It is just a game of patience, bro. Patience, Bible verses. You just have to have these verses in your mind. Just not get frustrated. And just keep going. So let's read some of these. Romans 12:12. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in tribulation. Be constant in prayer. Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Let's just not give up. Let's just keep going. Let's not grow weary. Oh, this is a good one too. This is the one we did a study on today. Proverbs 15:18. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger quiets contention. Proverbs 14:29. Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly. That's a good one. That's actually a good one to just learn. If you're just learning anything, I feel like if you get too angry at things, you're just going to maybe take it too seriously, and then you might not have fun with it. But if we can just endure through the struggles, hopefully we can gain some more vitality. Anyway, everybody, you guys have a good one, and I'm out of here.